show in the rest of this match.
And what's it like out there? Is it a friendly rivalry? Are there players who you get on with on the circuit? Are there players who you utterly despise?
I get on all right
Name
with
some
next
names.
to me. Mark Webster looking for me as a good friend of mine.
Thank goodness for that.
There are some other guys that you don't really want to play against for one reason or another.
What about you, Mark?
Yeah, it's the same. It's a selfish man's game, then, Dave. We look out for ourselves, but there's a lot of banter. But
group at the moment, Van Gerwen wins this. It's Taylor v MVG tonight.
That's got fun written all over it, Dan. It really has. But you're right, Robert Thornton cannot be written off here. It's a big ask against the hottest player on the planet.
Robert's probably been listening to that thinking, I'm going to stop that, and he's going the right way about doing it.
OK, the players are back. Back to the lads.
Yeah, well, Phil Taylor does await the winner of this one, and as we've just been hearing, we don't know who that's going to be right now.
I think the cameraman over here on camera 3 helped you out. Fantastic stuff. The players are back out. This is going to be an incredible finish. Back to the boys.
Yeah, whose match is this? Who do you fancy? Do you fancy Adrian Lewis? Do you fancy Michael Smith? It's Jackpot who started so much better, but there's only 2 legs in it. Lewis leads Smith 6-4. And the loser knows pretty much they're out. Last 3 warm-up darts.
There's the big one, and it's living up to that billing.
It certainly is. We've got big averages here. We've got a game, because I did say earlier that Michael Van Gerwen is the biggest post-break player, and we're about to find out whether I'm right or wrong.
Absolutely. Back to our match commentary team.
He's kept it every single time. That's a solid performance, and he's broken enough times to give himself a gap so that when they come back on stage, he can shoot for the line.
OK, we're not too sure what happened to Vassos, because, Dan, quite rightly, it was you. So the same question to you then. What a Saturday night here in Cardiff, Dan.
Quite right. It is one heck of a Saturday night here in Cardiff, and it could be about to turn into a very, very productive one for Peter Snake by right. 3 more legs needed. However, for Thorn fans, if you're looking for crumbs of comfort,
I really fear for him.
And also, we've looked at the body language, haven't we, of all the players over the past 2 days. And when you look at the way that Michael is going to get his darts as well, he just looks really, really upset and dejected about the way he's played.
Yeah, he's got the body language of a skeleton at times there tonight. He's really fed up. And I sympathise with him, because it's just not happening for him. There's no conviction with doubles. He's playing games of himself. He doesn't know which way to go. He's falling.
He's going to be a big favourite, as we all know. In any tournament that he plays in, he's going to be the favourite, so he's going to have the better chance. But Peter's still in it.
I've got a little scenario I'd like to share with you here, because it may be a little omen, because in the most recent meeting between these two, Anderson and Lewis, 2016 Tokyo Darts Masters, Anderson won 8-5 in the semis, went on to win the title, defeating Michael Van Gerwen in the final. Is that an omen, boys?
It could well be, but we have so many tournaments now. These things crop up quite often. But I think from a player's point of view, just looking at this as a one-off.
Yeah, like I said, it could be a known, but these guys, like, they're playing each other week in, week out. They're beating each other all the time. That won't be on the back of any player's mind. OK,
let's go back to our commentary team, Dan and Paul.
Well, Adrian Lewis's fate is sealed. We await the outcome of Group B.
He's probably asleep right now, getting some rest, knowing Gary. But he'll think that he's definitely got a big chance against Michael tonight. He's one of the only players who can potentially outwit him in the mental side of the game, and he'll want to bring a slightly better game than he has done so far, even though he's been winning.
And also, boys, just from a speed point of view, Michael Van Gerwen...
Guys in the commentary box are very well said that Phil wants to get off there as soon as possible. He can win this 11-2, get up there, relax, watch the other guys stress it out. Next thing you know, he's in the final waiting for 2 guys who might just battle themselves.
Absolutely right. So let's hand you back then. The boys are back to our commentary team, Vassos Alexander and Mark Webster.
So Phil Taylor 8, James Wade 2.
Players' mental state by their facial expressions. And I've noticed that Michael is nowhere near as composed and as happy as he was this afternoon.
Absolutely right. I think there's a lot more shaking of the head, like we've seen from other players this weekend. But Phil Taylor's not giving anything away with his body language and his facial expressions. If we see something from him, it's when the other guy's looking at the board.
Compare Michael, the way he was this afternoon, the fist pumping, the looking at the camera, looking
deadly, and he's had that defeat. He doesn't want to taste it again, and he's been ruthless in this game.
OK, boys, I'm going to ask you now to nail your colours very firmly to this mast. Are we going Scotland or are we going Netherlands?
If it was 5-5, I'd have gone Gary, but 6-4, I'm going for MVG.
Mark?
Yeah, MVG as well. Yeah.
Good stuff, boys. Thank you very much indeed. Back we go then. Dan Dawson and Alan Warren a little. We'll guide you through.